It's been a cold winter so far, and just how hard have the harsher conditions been on our animal companions now halfway through the season? Chelsea Daniels reports.
As the winter months roll on, more and more animals are being left out in the cold. CEO of SPCA Christchurch, Barry Hellam, says that it's important not to forget about the comfort of man's best friend during those cold winter days and nights.
Obviously in Christchurch the weather is quite extreme and we've had a number of minus something mornings, so we recommend that if possible all animals should be inside at night. For larger dogs that are in kennels, we recommend that owners make sure kennels are warm, dry, free of draft, nice warm bedding in there to keep the dogs nice and warm, and especially if you're exercising a dog, make sure you do it at the warmest part of the day, particularly older dogs with arthritis, because in the cold of the mornings or at night it can be quite hard on them. For smaller animals like cats and rabbits, keep them inside if at all possible. You also need to be particularly careful about making sure animals are away from heaters or things that can be tipped over and be fire hazards, so there's something to be wary of as well.
The SPCA receive an influx of abandoned animals all year round, but especially in the colder months.
We've seen quite an increase in dogs being abandoned, so our inspectors are really busy now. We've had something like 55 animal welfare complaints this year so far with dogs and puppies. A lot of those are abandoned. Just last week we had 6 one-week-old puppies that were taken from their mum and left in a box in a park in Woolston. So if those puppies weren't found, they wouldn't have survived the night, because at 1 week of age they need to be with their mums and getting their mother's milk. So we've got staff now fostering those puppies. They're up every 4 hours feeding them, and hopefully once they gain weight and get to about 6 to 8 weeks, we'll be able to adopt them and find new homes for them.
So what are some things to consider when adopting an abandoned animal?
When adopting an animal, I think it is a decision the whole family has to make, because we believe that animals get a forever home. So you adopt an animal, it's no different than having a child in the family. You commit to that animal for that animal's lifetime. So we want to make sure that there is the right fit and the right match for everyone's particular situation. So if you're going to take a dog, for example, we need to make sure that the property's well fenced, there's adequate shelter, the family has the financial means to care for the animal and pay vet fees, also the family has the time and the energy to put into training and giving the dog regular exercise.
Recently, a farmer in Atiamuri was fined more than $3,000 as a result of the ill treatment of cows, who were found to be malnourished and starved to death in his care. Ministry for Primary Industries District Compliance Manager Brendan Mickelson says this sort of offending is preventable. He says that MPI, animal welfare inspectors, will often work through issues with stock owners, but would not tolerate negligence or cruelty. And Barry says there's lots of ways to help those non-domesticated animals through these chilly months.
With the winter months, particularly in the South Island, we recommend that farmers have plenty of feed on hand and also an emergency plan, so that in the event of an emergency like a heavy snowstorm or flood, they have a plan B where they can get the animals relocated to somewhere that's warmer and drier.
Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.